Do you want to get more listeners on your radio shows? Today, I want to show you how Purple Disco Machine gets more listeners on his radio shows by using YouTube. So let's look at how you can get your show on YouTube and then give you some tips to grow your YouTube channel. Let's dive in. Hey, I'm Grahame Farmer from Dance Music Authority, Data Transmission, and I'm really loving this Tuesday series, which breaks down the blueprints to artist strategies for you, the viewers. This week we're looking at Purple Disco Machine, and I've broken in his strategy down into a few steps, so make sure you stick around to the end so you can get all the steps, and you need to make sure you're implementing all of them for this strategy to work. For those that don't know, Purple Disco Machine is a house disco Grammy-winning producer, DJ from Germany, and he plays all over the world, bringing great vibes and energy. His radio show, Purple Disco Tales, appears on radio stations all over the world as he syndicates his show to different stations. The only place you can listen to it again online is on his YouTube channel, and his YouTube channel is 500,000 subscribers deep, and he directs all of his traffic to YouTube to listen again. It's worth saying that if you don't have a radio show or a weekly or monthly podcast, which they're pretty much the same, they are great for DJs and producers to grow your networks, and also give you a regular content series. Radio shows and podcasts are also, at the very basics, great practice for you, a DJ and producer, if you haven't got any gigs. It gets you DJing regularly, gets you making content, and gives you an output to show what you're about. You can also tag the artists in the mix that you're using on, say, social media, and this will be great networking, especially if you're using a platform to release your radio show, as we do with Data Transmission Radio, because then you're saying, I'm on Data Transmission Radio and I'm supporting these artists. We've had radio show members that have been on the station for the last 3 years, and they've really grown their network, and it's really led to remix opportunities and labels signing their music because they've been using the radio show as a platform to connect with other DJs and producers. And if you're struggling to get gigs, then definitely having a radio show is going to bring more audience to you. Radio shows, as I mentioned, are also great networking because you can go reach out to other DJs and producers and say, hey, would you like to come and do a mix for my show on, say, Data Transmission Radio? And they're going to go, yeah, straight away, because of that brand association. So if you want to become a host on Data Transmission Radio, I will link our application form in the description below. Okay, the first thing that Purple Disco Machine does, step one, the upload. Let's chat about the upload. He's kept it super simple, which is definitely achievable for all of you at home if you've got radio shows, which is why I wanted to highlight Purple Disco Machine and what he's doing with his show, because he's getting thousands of views, but it's super simple for him to do. He has created an animation with his logo that kind of is on a loop. In fact, it is on a loop, and that plays through the video. And you can definitely make this in, say, Canva. If anyone's not using the app, canva.com, it's wicked. Or for something as intricate as this, he might have hired someone, and you can do that on fiverr.com. Or you could use something that's just as simple as your brand logo, and it maybe got a little animation on it, and that loops. Just keep it simple and then improve. And then what he's actually done on top of that is he's put the mix into his video editor, and then as the tracks change, he's put a now playing and then the track title. So that gets a little bit extra movement on screen to those people that are watching it. Super simple. Really effective though, not that difficult to make, because once you've got that template, it'll be a case of dropping in the mix, moving the titles around so they line up with the new tracks. He uses the same striking artwork for his other social media and to push his radio show when it drops. He also uses the same artwork for his thumbnail that is so striking it actually just pops off as a thumbnail and really works as a thumbnail. And if you need to know more about thumbnails and titles, then check out this video. It's on how to get your first 1,000 followers on YouTube. Go and check it out next, and I'll link that below in the description as well. For me, his titles actually could be a bit better. He includes the word Purple Disco Machine in his title when he doesn't really need to. His channel's called Purple Disco Machine, and when anyone searches Purple Disco Machine, his channel will come up. So he doesn't actually need to include it in his title. His titles actually could be better, and they could change to Purple Disco Tales September 23 at the start, and then on the tail end could include the types of genre he's playing, because people might search for those, or could include artists that are in that mix to leverage their kind of keyword searchability. Step two, the second thing he's doing really well, is a Spotify playlist. Now, we're talking about YouTube. Why are we talking about Spotify? One thing I really love is he's created this Spotify playlist of his Purple Disco Tales. So any of the tracks that you might find in his radio shows, you can listen to again in Spotify. Well, the good thing is, if you want to find the music that's in that show and you start searching for it in Spotify to listen to it, you can listen to his playlist, which keeps you in his world. And then what you might find is, because you're liking his radio shows, you're then digging his playlist because it's all the same sort of music. And then when he drops that new radio show, you're already half waiting for it because you're into his music, you're into him, and it's that kind of brand association. Step number 3, shorts. I know we're coming out of the summer, and not the ones you wear. We're talking YouTube Shorts. When it comes to shorts, these are great places to drive new fans into your bigger channel. For me, Purple Disco Machine is great in front of the camera, and all of his short form content is pretty entertaining. And he could use this space to alert people that his new radio show's dropping, especially on from a shorts point of view. Also, you could again use that animated artwork to drive awareness of the show dropping. You could also make clips of you DJing if you make your radio show that way, and then use those to promote the show through shorts. Shorts are great because shorts are shown to new people and new potential fans. You get involved in their world, and then when you go on your computer, TV, tablet, you're showing the longer form content. So you find people in shorts, and shorts really gets people into that cycle. Or maybe you've watched a longer form video, and then shorts keep you engaged whilst you're on your phone. When you're going back to the tablet and back to the PC or back to the Mac, you'll then show the longer form again. So you're finding more of his longer videos from shorts. And that's their sole purpose. Also really entertaining content. That's 3 down. Wow, we're going through them quick. If you're thinking about starting your own YouTube channel, I've made a free download to help you do just that. It's an ebook to help you out. It's linked in the pinned comment, and it's also in the description. Go and grab that. It will help you start that new channel. Step number 4, the community tab. Community tab is a great way to build interaction between you and your followers and your subscribers. The great thing about creating posts in the community tab is it goes out to your followers and alerts your followers in an email. So you can do it like Purple Disco Machine is doing and use it as a broadcast. I've done this, I've got this coming up, I've got a gig coming up. But in your community tab, it also allows you to ask your audience questions. Do you like this? Do you like that? And you can do polls as well. And it really gives you that community feeling and community feedback to what's happening with your channel. You can also use the community tab to direct people and your followers to your new show. And what I would do is when you post your show, it's going to get emailed to them anyway. I would use the community tab 7 days later to remind people or catch people that might not have caught it the first time and say, did you catch the show last week? Here it is again. Especially if you're a monthly show or bi-weekly show. It'll give that reinvigoration of sending the email out to the audience, so it kind of drags people back into your world again. You can also use the community tab to announce that a show is about to drop. Maybe you do it 3 days before, you put a coming soon artwork, it posts it out to get people involved, and then you drop the show. You've got a kind of process of 1, 2, 3 after show to really drive people back to that main show and really drive the numbers and listeners up. Step number 5, I'm just going to talk about his live stream and how he evolved his live stream, and this is kind of following to building your channel. One thing I did notice when I was poking around his YouTube channel making this video is I found his live streams from COVID. I know they were a long time ago, but there's still a lot of learning there, and it's still quite cool. If we look at the live streams from that channel, you'll see how much they've evolved over the 4 or 5 mixes that he did. The first one, you can see he's quite far away. They're quite a basic setup. The second one's a bit better. The camera view's better. The staging of the space is better, and then so forth and so forth. And they get better and better and better. And that's definitely one thing you've got to do when you're making content, making YouTube, or making kind of radio show mixes, is just start. Start something. It's going to be rubbish, and just evolve and get better and better, and keep making YouTube videos. Always remember, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work. As I mentioned earlier, we are taking on brand new shows for Data Transmission Radio for October, November, and 2024 right now. And if you want to have your own show and host your own show on Data Transmission Radio, I will link in the description all the information about DC Radio, the costs for the service, and if you want to go ahead, just click on the application form and the team will come back to offer you a time for your slot. Everything is pre-recorded, and if you want to move ahead, then you just agree with the team and start on Data Transmission Radio. Staying on a YouTube tip, did you check out my video breaking down Rewire's strategy on what he does on YouTube, how he does his live streams, and then how he uses them for social media content afterwards? If you didn't, go and check that out next. It will help you level up your radio shows, level up your YouTube channel, and really help you take that to the max for next year. I've been Grahame Farmer, and I'll see you over there in a minute. Cheerio.